Welcome to Put This On, Season 5, Episode 18, where you watch The American Barbecue Showdown, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
This is Brian.
Noah Singer.
All right, if this is your first time joining us, we do a different reality show each week by watching one episode and critique, go way too deep, just kind of judge the whole goddamn hell out of it. So, to that note, Noah, what's the show description this week?
8 of the country's best backyard smokers and pitmasters vie for the title of American Barbecue Champion in a fierce but friendly face-off. That's American Barbecue Showdown on Netflix.
Yeah, so standard competition, but with barbecue. 8 people, right?
Yeah.
I didn't count.
Yep.
8 people.
'Cause there's
8.
eight-
The
so
Ocho.
The Ocho,
Yeah.
ESPN. So there's 8 episodes, I'm guessing, or 7.
7.
Let's see. There is 8 episodes.
Oh, you're gonna have the finale, maybe.
I mean, the
don't know.
finale could be a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, reunion episode. That's what I want.
Yeah, so we got 4 judges, 8 people. Where did I put my phone? You guys talk for a second.
Sure, your phone's on the recliner.
Yeah. So
Giving some inside baseball on the pod. We told you we go deep into the show. Also, get deep into the apartment we record the show. So the show has 4 hosts. It's a lot of hosts to contestant ratio. There's 2 color commentators and the real hosts. They're professional hosts, and then there's 2 barbecue masters. It's a lot of ratio. High ratio of hosted contestants.
Yeah, definitely. But this is the British Bake Off formula where you have there are 2 hosts and there's 2 judges.
Ah, okay.
So it's just but the judges are the hosts and the hosts don't do fucking shit.
No, they don't do
Yeah.
anything.
So it's garbage.
Great job. I'd love to be them.
Oh, for sure. Especially the one woman in this show was no airtime.
Yeah, she really does not get much.
the dude is also the floor is lava guy, right?
Yeah. So we got Floor's Lava Guy.
Yeah, Rutledge Wood.
Yeah. I didn't write down the 2 host names. Whatever.
Yeah, so we got the host on Rutledge Wood.
Yeah.
From Top Gear and Floor is Lava, and then Lyric Lewis, who actually does not have a Wikipedia page to learn more about her. So unclear how she got into the picture.
She had some weird qualifications at the beginning of this. I don't remember exactly what they were, but they were something to do with meat sweats when
Yeah.
she was introduced.
She's just crushing it. I mean, good for her for getting this bomb ass gig on doing a show.
All right, so we usually save this for questions, but while we're going through all these people, is this an upgrade or downgrade for them? So
Floor is lava is peak.
you think it's
Top Gear. Top Gear.
Top Gear is clearly the peak, so this is definitely a downgrade. Is this an upgrade from the lava show though?
I just saw my stance.
I don't think so. I think it's a
Oh.
downgrade.
Really?
Because the Floor's Lava, he's the guy. It's all his lines. They come to see fucking him. It's just him. He's barely in the stupid thing.
This is like the Ken Jeong debate from last week. Is he better on The Masked Singer, better show, but multiple judges, or is it better for him on I Can See Your Voice and it's only him? Worse show.
I think it's way better to be yourself.
Yeah. No, you're right.
He has so much more attention in Floor's Lava. You hear him the whole episode.
Yeah. It is his baby, but it's an ugly baby.
It also could depend on how much of a producer you are in these shows. If you're not the producer on your own show, then fuck no. Barely changes anything. But if you're your own executive producer or high level producer, then yes.
Yeah. So background on Lyric Lewis. It seems like this is probably I don't say equal, not a step up, step down, but she's been a repeating character on AP Bio. So she's been on the show for 2 years, which is decent show.
Oh,
Wow.
she was on that show? I don't
Yeah, she was Steph Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I feel like this might be a downgrade. If you want to be an actor, being a reality show co-host does not get you anywhere.
Agree. If you're
In
going
like
for the actor.
reality.
It
Yeah.
could also just be a pivot and like let's go reality shows.
Yeah, but reality show host is not better than like actor.
No, but it's got an easier path of entry.
That's fair. Very true.
You know how many new shows are being produced all the time? Like they need people to run this.
It's just like I don't know. This is just such a plum gig. Like no matter what you're doing, how do you turn down hosting this show? It's so easy. You get to eat good barbecue, fed some cheesy lines.
I mean, so we saw a lot of this. We see the 4 co-judge host guys, whatever. They're sitting there drinking out of solo cups. That's just straight liquor.
Something's got to pass the time.
That was so good. Like, why they're not even hiding it?
Yeah. So they're like the other 2 judges we got judges now. We got Kevin Bloodsoe from Compton. He's some sort of professional barbecue restaurateur. It says.
6th generation.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
I don't know if Noah has any internet corners for Kevin Bloodsoe.
Bledsoe's Bar and Q. Bledsoe's Bar.
Yeah, so he is a restaurateur. I was just making that up because they said he's like from Australia to something. I'm like, there's no way you get to that line without having a restaurant.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, he seems to be killing it.
But then you got our second judge. We got Melissa Cookston. And she's pretty critical. She's like a multi-winner of barbecue competitions or something. Like that's her claim to fame from what I got. So like she's like looking from the other side of the window a little bit now. And you know, she's a pretty big she's a pretty hard judge.
Yeah, but I think she's also a good judge. Like I don't think she's like unnecessarily harsh. She's like giving pretty good critique.
She's like, I mean, I don't know how much of this like she was just like looking and watching, but like at the end when she's judging, she's like, did something happen here? What happened to this? She like smell it or something. So it's like, you know, you were watching them all day, so like you know what happened.
Yeah, and she's done a little bit of the circuit. So, quoting Wikipedia, since 2012, she's appeared on TV shows such as Barbecue Pitmasters, Chopped, CBS This Morning, The Kitchen, and obviously this show, comma, among others. So she's done the circuit. She's a go-to person as a barbecue expert.
As a like barbecue competition expert.
Yeah.
Not Law and Order though.
Not Law and Order. No, she doesn't subscribe to that.
I wonder if she like judges actual competitions like in real life. I assume that's like probably her main thing.
Gotta. She's done like so many, and then like just becoming a judge is a natural route. Like you don't need to compete anymore when you just know that
Yeah, but maybe she wants to compete, Brian. It's all about being at the top.
she can roast them. She's got that confidence.
I mean, again, to our Wikipedia, it seems like she's just competing, but it's not that clear. I think the most shocking thing, man, this is going to go down a rabbit hole. She breeds her own hybrid pigs.
What? What are they hybrid with?
This is why this is going to go down a rabbit hole. Like, I don't know what a hybrid pig is quite yet, but man, this is hopefully going to be exciting.
I hope it's not something like a rabid pig, like just trying to combine like the two meats of like different animals.
I'm thinking of like man bear pig, but we'll find out.
It's like, yeah, when you say hybrid, I assume she's just breeding pigs for a specific reason. But like, like if you say hybrid, like what are you combining it with? Like wild hogs?
Wait, what?
This is not really good for the podcast, but when you Google hybrid pig, there is one of the first 3 image results is a mixture of a pig and a donkey and a human face. I really encourage you to go look this up.
Okay.
We got to rescue Noah from this.
I don't need to see that. Let's we were talking about the judge. Okay. So you got to introduce the judges. They're like, you know, doing nothing, really. Then we got the actual challenge, Brian. Can you tell me what the challenge was?
Yeah, so it's just a standard like barbecue platter. You get to choose like what goes on there.
So it's 2 meats, 2 sides, 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Which, for me, barbecue in 5.5 hours is like not really long enough.
It's not.
You're really limiting yourself to certain cuts of meat there.
Yeah, and that's also something funny because like they have a full blown like meat locker. They really showed off like everything, but like you name the meat, they had it in there.
Well, I mean, they seem so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for like them to like limit that, like even some contestants like took some like risky choices. Like I don't.
But so like I've made pulled pork in 4 hours before, but is that like, it's not competition level barbecue? No.
They definitely harped in it a bit on the show how most of these people were used to longer, like I don't know if cook times is the right word, but like
Yeah,
smoke times.
I would say so.
Yeah. They were harping on that, and then I feel like I learned a lot about pork butt.
There's the competition cut in the pork butt.
Yeah. What was it called again? That special cut?
Like the money shoulder or something like
The
that.
money, yeah.
Yeah. But little known fact, or maybe widely known, new to me, pork butt, not from the pig's butt, from the pig's shoulder.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it came from the Boston butt. Another thing that we'll have to go down the rabbit hole on.
No, I think that what they is like if you put the U.S. like on the cow, the Boston butt is like the butt of Boston. It looks like the butt of Boston. Like that's the shape.
But it was like, so for the pig, it was in the top left shoulder, right? Like, or I mean, yeah, in the shoulder, right? Because the pig's like horizontal, kind of.
It could be the top right if you're looking at it the other way. That would be Boston.
That would make sense. Yeah. Let's see what the internet has to say about this.
Let's just flip that little diagram over.
Mind blown. Yeah, it's the money muscle.
Butt. Man, I wonder how many strip clubs are in the Boston butt.
So they got this competition, and I guess we'll go over kind of what we remember person by person and what they did. Doesn't really matter at this point, but it's an interesting competition. We've got our first contestant is Grubbs. He is like not in the episode at all, right?
Not really. He had like a few like good choice quotes. Like he was a good character.
But he was in the bottom 2.
Yeah. Well, you got to give him that little bit of airtime.
He had a sob story where he had a heart attack 2 years ago, so now he uses less sodium in his cues, which got him in trouble. Got him in the bottom 2.
It was a good move. Like when it's like, oh yeah, you're not putting enough seasoning. It's like, yeah, I have a heart condition.
I mean, he's definitely pulling at that American reality heartstring right there.
Yeah.
The Olympics. I like to call it the Olympic.
Yeah. I give him credit. Like I think on a very personal side, that guy lost 50 pounds. Changed his diet. So regardless of what happens to Grubbs, like hat tip to Grubbs.
Absolutely, he's crushing it.
Yeah.
So then after Grubbs, we got Sylvie. She's from California, and she was even less in the episode this week.
Yeah, very little. Her main claim to fame in the episode is she yelled out, 58 minutes are left.
We're like, who is that?
Yeah. I think she's going to stick around for a little bit. We're going to learn more about her, but yeah, this episode, not much.
I think there was like a couple people we'll learn more about next episode.
Yeah.
So then we got Ashley, which is from Benson, North Carolina. He is spelled like you think it is, but he's a guy.
Yep.
So, little confusing for us people up north. I don't know.
Mr. Ash, and so, but Ashley's story, he plays up a little bit of that. Let's call it the Olympics too.
Yeah.
So Ashley used to compete with his friend Big Worm. Big Worm got a brain tumor and died. And
don't sound so morbid about it.
I mean, he died. It's a morbid thing.
I know.
So Big Worm is no longer with us, and so Ashley wanted to cook in his memory, and so he cooks Big Worm's ribs, and they're a knockout. People love them. And a little known fact about Ashley, he's a car salesman, so he definitely brings out like slap on the back, like good guy tone to the show, which I could see playing really well in the competition.
Yeah, I mean, he got a lot of airtime. He wants airtime. He got it for sure. He did his friend's ribs, and that I don't know if there's anything more to say about this.
Big Worm, but
Big Worm. Yeah, I know. I have his. I wrote it down.
let's take a little like poll though. Why do you think Big Worm was Big Worm?
Because he could do the worm, and he was a big guy.
Definitely not related to the penis.
Well,
Brian, this is a PG podcast.
What?
Since when? I didn't get that memo.
So let's go with that. Big Worm did an amazing worm.
So then we got Shotgun from North Carolina. This is the best character on the show by far. Brian, what did you say he was?
Wait, who is this again?
Shotgun.
My boy.
That's not.
What a description.
That's what I had written down for it.
My boy. Well, I
I
will
was
take
just
the
like,
yeah.
Brian get a really good name for him, and now I don't remember what it was. Anyway,
I'll take the liberty here. So Shotgun is like a mixture between Mr. T and Hulk. He is jacked, but then he also has the Mr. T mohawk going on, and he's quite the character.
Yeah.
He is just full of energy. He says he loves Colt 45 while he's cooking, but I think he's got something else going on in that cook.
I mean, that Colt 45 might have some steroids in it, you know. Who knows?
He cooks better when he's drunk. That just gives him the protein.
That was like his intro was like, yeah, I cook better when I'm drunk. I have Colt 45s all day. Like, these are, you know, it's one of those reasons to get up and drink for sure is to go out and smoke. So
That's a strong drink for drinking too. Like you got that thick malt in the Colt 45.
but he is a big dude.
That's true.
I'm sure it takes him a couple more for him to get drunk than you.
Yeah, that is very fair. I'm just thinking of not even like the drunkenness. It's very filling. Like you want to get hungry when you're done with that cook.
Yeah, but it's going to be going on for like 15 hours, so you're good.
Yeah. You know, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so spoilers, he's in the bottom two and ends up being kicked out because from all looks of it, he did not know how to smoke very well at all. It's like he did the chicken in a can or whatever.
Beer can
can
chicken.
Beer can chicken. And it was just charred to all hell. His whole food was all charred. It was like, okay.
Despite that, though, like, they did comment like that. It was good beer can chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they dinged him for several things. One, during the cook, they're like, "Oh, so what are you gonna cook these ribs until?" He's like 170, like 170 internal temperature. He's like, "Yeah," and then there's a little cry on the bottom of the TV that says, "Ribs should be eaten at 195 or above, so you don't get sick." So
Maybe that's why he overcooked.
yeah.
He usually cooks on the 170.
He seems like a mighty fine backyard cook, but he was not well fit for the show when it comes to
What do you mean? He
cooking
was
talent.
100% well fit for the show. He's a crazy character. He brings it love and energy to the screen that you want. Now, he's not a great contender for like a competition. He's like an episode 1 fodder that makes your episode 1 better.
Fair. Yeah.
He was great. My boy.
My boy Blue, I mean,
Shotgun.
my boy Shotgun. So he was definitely like the highlight. Then we've got Rashid. He was from Jamaica. He moved to the U.S. At a young age, blah, blah, blah. He makes 4 meats instead of 2. He tries to make 2 breads, fucks up 1 bread.
Some wontons.
And then he makes it to Top Chef. Top Chef of the Week. Top Barbecue Challenge Showdown of the Week.
An easy winner. He just crushes it.
Seems so. Like he's up there, like doing real cooking, like putting some sauce and like simmering it down, and like he's like, it seems very calculated. And you got Shotgun out there. He's just like, woo, buddy, we just spraying this thing. Like, oh, what's that temperature? I don't know. Like, so this guy's he's really cooking.
Oh yeah, like he's the only one where they focused on his focus on fresh ingredients. And he's like making everything from scratch, and everyone's just taking like powders and sauces. Like he's very much in his own league. Ashley might come in like a second. We'll see how he brings up his game, but Rashid is just like a cook.
Just thinking a different person. Yeah, I think that like, but I'm not sure that wins you a barbecue competition.
Might not.
I think that gets you like, it might get you above the rest for some challenges, but for some challenges where like you're cooking like one thing for like a day, like that's just not, I don't know if that really gives you the edge over like somebody that like really cares and's really done this a lot.
We'll see how the show goes. They showed the preview for the next episode where they have lobster, and I got a feeling they're gonna really like stir the pot a little bit on the type of competition. Like, it doesn't look like they're gonna be like next week is sausage, then brisket, then ribs and steak. I think they're gonna go really outside the realm and see how these people can cook.
I'm sure there's gonna be a classic episode where like, hey, you have a day, bring me the best thing you got.
Yeah. I can see that. But I guess like, do y'all think it's going to be more of like quote unquote standard American barbecue, or you think they're really going to?
I think they are going to have like 4 out of the 8 challenges will probably be something wacky. Like you got to smoke this lobster. Obviously, that's a little wacky. Or like bring us your best soup. Like that. Like I'm sure that's just not a normal barbecue thing. If that even be barbecue, I don't know.
There was also a spoiler for like a different meat type in the trailer that was like completely out there.
Octopus?
No, it was raccoon.
Oh yeah, the raccoon.
Oh yeah, they did say that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We had that other contestant. The woman.
there's 2 more.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There's Tina from Georgia. She got a lot of airtime for like such a nothing burger.
Yeah.
Like she was like, "Who am I going to be in? I don't know. Sure, I'm going to go cook. I don't know. Shut up."
Well, with Priscilla by her side, she could do anything.
Priscilla was her pink doll.
Yeah, pink pig doll.
Yeah, it seems a little odd to be cooking up, her friends right in front of her.
Not to worry about it. She's all in too.
Cruel.
It's a piggy pig world.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know what there is to say about her other than she was like the fodder for thinking she was in the bottom 2, but she wasn't in the bottom 2, but she deserved to be in the bottom 2. As from what we could tell, but like we didn't obviously taste the meat, so like we don't really know. I really thought she might be gone.
Yeah, I feel like with her, they thought when they were taping, they had a lot of good fodder and footage, and then they got to the cutting board, and they're like, shit. And they really tried to pull it out, and they just couldn't, and then they got too late in the game. They're like, fuck it. I'm just going to keep the storyline in and move along.
I don't know. I really wanted her to be gone because I like Shotgun. I thought the producers would like manipulate the vote to keep Shotgun in because he's a guy. Like this fucking girl would like Tina's not the person. Yeah. Unless she pulls like that Lego show stuff where like the people on the bottom like go to the end somehow and get their shit together, she's out early.
Yeah, and do you think the show starts to spin off its own cinematic universe, or we get the Shotgun show?
This might not be Shotgun's only reality show. We don't know.
Oh man, I'm gonna go to the internet for this. We'll see where Shotgun's been all his life.
Tina's Nothing Burger, and then we get Georgia, I believe was her name.
Yeah.
but she was literally not in the episode.
Yep, that
She
was
was
some of
just
the
some blonde woman. They were like, "Who are you?" Like she's like not even in this fucking episode.
Sylvia. At least I saw that like she put like the fish on like the wood boards.
Yeah. Sylvie, I had written down.
Yeah, and I just think like they're gonna focus on them like in a different episode, like this one.
I'm sure we'll figure out more about Georgia next episode.
Yeah,
Like we make fun of it, but I think that that's the only way to do this.
no, I agree.
As you like intro half the people really well, one episode, and then you intro the other 4, and then you're down to 6 people, and you can like it's so much easier to like get 6 people in there. Whereas when you have like 12 plus people competing, like so hard to know anybody
Yeah, and they try to
until
all.
it's down to like 8 at that point.
They also try like you. Sometimes like they just try to cram it all in one episode, and I'm just like I'm lost. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
Like I have to continue to pick this up over time, and they want me to be invested. I'm not.
Not a great thing for our podcast, so we only watch one of those episodes.
No. Hey, we make snap judgments, Chris. There's a lot of reality TV shows to watch.
We judge books by their covers here.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched almost 200 episodes, guys. So like, that 200 different reality shows. So
Yeah, we got to move fast. I really can't find much on Shotgun, but his real name is Michael Collins. That's about it.
whoa, spoilers, dude.
Yeah, you know. Shockingly, not related to Phil Collins.
So I guess the other minor thing we could talk about is they added a mid-smoke challenge, which was not really a mid. It was just like a new challenge, the new thing they added to the challenge.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours left. They make some sort of bread.
Any bread.
Any bread, which I don't really know a whole lot about bread or baking, and I thought bread took a while to make.
No, you can move fast. Yeah, I mean, clearly you can move
Clearly,
fast.
Yeah.
like I guess
Yeah.
if you're making like a biscuit, that seemed pretty quick to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even like banana bread was like just an hour. Like
Okay, I mean, like I just don't bake a lot, so I don't really
Yeah.
know.
I think that was a pretty good challenge in the middle because I mean, bread is a critical component to any barbecue dish.
Oh yeah. That cornbread, that's a key staple in some parts of the barbecue eating world. I don't want to speak for all of it.
Or even like I was surprised more people would probably was due to the time. You get like that slice of this like white bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that I thought that takes a while. I think
Okay, yeah.
to get like a good white bread.
Mhm.
I don't think that that's something you just like a cornbread where you just put some like starch together and throw it in the oven. Like
Yeah.
that's not that. But like the bread looked good. Like the food looked good. I wanted to eat it for sure. I was really disappointed I couldn't grill today.
Yeah, they really got to come up with a concept for these food shows where they should team up with like Blue Apron or HelloFresh. Like when the show releases, you got that food at your place and you can like eat along with the show. It's shocking they're not doing this yet.
the problem is like you're trying to introduce this brand new show. Like you're not going to get anything. Like who's
It
just going
doesn't
to be like
need to
sign
be
up
a
like
brand new show. Could just be like a Top Chef for like a
Yeah.
Chopped episode. Where like, okay, this guy makes this and Chopped this week. Here you go.
Yeah, they got to hook that up because like so often these things look amazing. I mean, this show I think is extra amazing because these guys are just making barbecue, which is like not fair because barbecue is incredible.
Another critique I'll have is that like they always have like the best tools for these shows, and they also like know like all these other like techniques that like trying to cook a roux is kind of tough to like just do like right off the bat. So like if that's your first time, like I don't know if like anybody could just pick it up.
No, they'll got to give you some helping hands, right? So like instead of like making your own sauce, the sauce comes pre-prepared. Instead of got to like cut your own meat from like a big slab of like pork, whatever, right? You get a little pre-portioned thing. Like everything comes like good to go.
Like, obviously, I don't think the food you're gonna make at home, especially for this challenge, you've got a 0% chance of that. As like making it as good as them.
Well, yeah, it's not gonna be as good. Or like, but what if I just like completely fuck it up? Like, I'm not gonna want to do that.
Oh, I got one here. So I subscribe to HelloFresh, so I get like their meals, and they've actually updated their product line. So previously, you just get like a package of carrots, a package of meat, right? Then you got to assemble the whole dish and cook it up. They're doing a thing now where the meal is like all ready and it's literally popping in the oven.
So it's a not frozen meal, but not frozen.
Correct, exactly. And so they could do that, where it's just all ready to go.
Yeah, but then
Pop,
why
pop.
wouldn't they just sell it in the store?
Because that's a whole other issue. Like if you got to fight for shelf space and like negotiate with a retailer, like they're just going direct to consumer.
Hungry Man is gonna fuck you up if you try to invade on that shit.
Is Hungry Man still a thing?
100%.
Man, I haven't seen that in a while.
That stuff doesn't go away, Mr. Noah.
Man, look at them. The year 2020 plowing on through.
I guess.
They have Hungry Woman. Have they adapted with the times?
Oh, probably not.
Man, shame on them.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's get back to this. I assume we're done. We talked about the finale. Fuck
Yeah.
the.
I'm
doesn't
saving
matter.
I'm saving a lot for this stuff, so let's go.
Okay, we got some questions. Each week we have a standard set of questions. We already went over one. Let's go over the others. Who's the worst human being? Whom is the first human being in this episode? Not compared to like some sort of debate we watched this week.
Yeah, I'm going with Tina, the pearls.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, to be fair, like everyone on the show is like fairly okay. You know, there's no one that's like clearly super bad, but the amount of like drama, minutia, things aren't working out, victim. Well, actually, she wasn't too much of a victim, just like a bit
she
more of like
was
whiny.
giving excuses. The
Yeah.
judges even said that, like, her first thing was an excuse.
Yeah. So she just gave me like the worst vibes, if I can say anything. But really compared to like a lot of people, she seems okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one like really that bad in this episode. She's definitely a contender. Maybe Shotgun, you know, like the way that he was like, yeah, I'm the best cook, and like, you know, he's the first one out. I don't know, it's a little hubris there. So like, that's the level of worse we're talking about this week.
Yeah, honestly, everybody's just so happy. Like, I can't really think of like a bad person or somebody that I hate. I can't even hate like the Florida's Lava guy. He brought me this show that has delicious barbecue in it.
Yeah, but it's just like the hosts just aren't providing anything, so there's none of them in it. Like
they're
that's
providing
the contender. I don't like. There's not when you're not in it, you're just not funny. Like that's what it comes down to. It's like if you don't provide anything, you're being a host, and you're not like then you're not in it.
Yeah.
We talked about the host already. What's the most baffling / cringeworthy moment this week? I thought it was pretty it's not really. It doesn't fit this too well. But when the woman's like grill went out, like and she's like freaks out and just throws everything in, and then it's obviously just spikes way up. Just like what an idiot. And she's still on this fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, do you have one?
The most baffling moment was just seeing all the equipment. Like, Netflix really sprung out. Like, I guess I also think about like Final Table, and it's like, damn,
They spending some money, dude.
yeah. That's the most baffling moment to me. Like, just how much they like invested in this. I really did not think Netflix would like go that far for a show.
I mean, they have a lot in the past.
The equipment is top notch.
Well, I don't really know. Like, they had each person had a lot of smokers.
Yeah.
But the other barbecue show we watched, people brought their own smokers because they timed all their stuff with their own smokers and everything. So like, I mean, I feel like, you know, if we're talking the level of people that are bringing their own smokers versus these people that are fine doing without that, like, we're talking different levels of competition here.
Yeah, like, do you think that like this one is like more or higher level competition?
No.
Why? No.
I think it's just different.
I think it's definitely like you pulling people that have their own freaking setups to like these people that are just, you know, cooking off of professional equipment.
Right, but that's the thing. Like they're so used to it, like they can't like do anything with anything else.
Right. That's right. It's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know. We'll have to judge these as these go on and ask, because James is the one that has watched a lot of the other one.
no, for sure. I mean, like I like that like everybody can bring their own stuff, but it's also like just a disadvantage. Like this is an even playing field, like, and everybody like has to get used to this new thing. Like it's more competition, like, and more interesting to me.
I just don't think the level of people in this competition are that high. I think some of these people are like glorified backyard barbecuers, and that's just like, that's fine. But like, that's not like if you went to a barbecue competition, those people would be not in it.
Well, they did say at the beginning that like they brought like people from all different skill levels, which
Yeah,
was
that's
also
just
baffling.
That's just garbage.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
I
Don't
mean,
do
but-
that.
I'm trying to bring up the description again, but here we go. It says 8 of the country's best backyard smokers and pitmasters. So they are trying to go with like upper varsity, but not pro.
They're like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's just like a weird, like, this is every time we watch a cooking show this comes up, it's just like, where in the level of cooking are you? Are you at the top of the top? Those people just don't do reality shows. They don't go on competitions.
They go on
Like,
final table.
sometimes, but like, they're definitely not, like, I'm sure like a lot of people in that tier wouldn't be caught dead, like, doing anything.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the bottom of the bottom, that fucking nailed it show, which needs to be die a fiery death, is like the bottom, and it's just like funny because they're so bad. And then there's just like such a wide range in between there that it's just like, well, why don't you just get better people? It's like, well, or like, why aren't you like worse so you're funny? Like, I don't know.
I know you don't like Nailed It, clearly. But I think there's a show below that on America's favorite channel, Quibi, where they did the food shotgun show and the people had to recreate.
Yeah, but you don't know the level of chef those people are.
I would say they're pretty basic. They're going on a food shotgun show.
No, I have a very important question. Are you still subscribed to Quibi?
I never paid them.
Okay, good. No, I mean like,
Well, they're
we all
going to go
can't-
away now, Noah, because you didn't pay them.
And that'll be fine because then the content's going to go somewhere else. Because they did make good content. Whatever anyone wants to say about their business model,
Oh,
the
you should-
content is good.
No, you should go listen to our episode where we did a bunch of Quibi shows.
Yeah, we did the reality Quibi shows, which I will stand by our episode. I was on that episode. The non-reality Quibi shows, they really are strong. They definitely did a lot of go-to-market issues, but I'm going to stand by the content will find a place.
All right. We'll
Keep
find
bringing
out.
up Reno 911.
Reno 911, there's Free Ray Sean, that was really good.
No, we're not doing a Quibi commercial.
The world's most
Stop
dangerous
talking.
game.
Stop talking.
I get an affiliate fee.
All right. So, what's your favorite minor minutia, Brian? I know you have some written down.
Ooh, man. So one of like the smart hosts got really angry at the floor is lava guy because he was cutting the ribs with a butter knife.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Oh my
It's
god.
like,
That-
oh man, look how well that cut with a butter. You cutting that with a butter knife?
yeah, that's the exact reason why they need to go away. Like they're already fucking it up. Like get him out.
Get away from the meat. Not allowed. That was a good moment. I have a couple. One I have is like the one woman was like, yeah, when I make bread, we just take the lard and the coffee that we made this morning. We put it like, or no, she put the coffee in some sort of like gravy. So like day-old coffee in this gravy. It was gross. And then she like substituted like, you know, room temperature lard for like butter, frozen butter or something. He's like, I hope that works out. And I'm like, we know the level of cooking we have in this episode. But I feel like the coffee thing might be the most baffling. Like that might be a baffling moment.
I forgot about that coffee thing, but now you're totally right.
It's
I
like,
also-
look, you can't take the coffee that's been sitting in the pot all day. No one wants that.
I don't know what that adds to the damn thing. Like that's just weird.
I don't
Why do I need to be like riding high like after this cornbread?
It wasn't in the bread. To be fair,
Oh,
it was in the
oh, it was
gravy.
the gravy. Sorry, yeah.
Gravy.
Yeah, what kind of cornbread we doing? Some day old coffee.
Tricks of the trade.
So
I'm gonna go deep into the minutiae.
okay,
So one, obviously those pork butts, and looked up why they are called pork butts.
okay,
Pork butts are named after the barrels pork used to be stored in around the time of the Revolutionary War. So it wouldn't have mapped to the United States because obviously it was like a pencil at the time, not U.S. as we see it today. And what pork was called in then was called butts. They're just called butts. And in New England, Boston, it was a known specialty to get your pork there. Ergo, pork butts.
wait, I'm still lost.
That's about like
So like back
they-
in the day, they just called pork butts.
so pork was stored in barrels that they called butts, and pork
Oh.
in New England was a specialty.
I see. So New England would ship their pork in butts,
Yeah.
and that you'd get your pork. You get that pork from that butt.
You get the Boston butt, which then goes to pork butt.
All right.
The other thing I think I'm minutia in the show, I really like they were talking about how no one had like a dial on their grill. Everyone had to make their own fire and like get the temperature right, which was something I think they actually could have like spent a lot more time on, because that seems like a real hard thing to just use coal and wood and get a right temperature.
I mean, once you get, I mean, you're right. Get it there and keep it there. Definitely not like, I'm not doing that. I don't know how to do that. So, like, by all means.
Maybe they'll actually do it because they actually were kind of good about educating us during the show.
A little bit. We learned a little bit. We learned
le-
about the pork butts. We learned about how there is a pork head in the meat locker, which was a great moment.
Well, I mean, like they also described like another like the pork belly. Like they went into a couple different spots for meat. So
They're definitely doing a little History Channel stuff. I didn't think they did a great job of like, hey, this is the basics of barbecue. You put the coals in here. This is how you kind of get it to the right temperature. And then like, you know, you put the meat on for like 3 hours. It'll do that. Like that's not, you can't watch. What I want is to watch 8 hours of this and then be like, feel like really good to go out there and smoke something. Like I'd be able to do it without like doing anything else. And I don't think it's going to do that.
If the show had Nazis in it, do you think it would be on the History Channel?
No, ancient aliens taught them how to barbecue. That's the
That'll be
ancient
the
alien
tie-in.
barbecue show.
Yep.
Nazis aren't on the History Channel anymore. It's all
No?
Pawn Stars and like haunted shows.
Man, I always thought the History Channel was just like everything to do with Nazis.
Yeah, it used to be about history, and then like then you've got the ancient aliens shows kind of showed up, and then you got that Pawn Stars, and now it's just like what was the last show we watched on History Channel? Like some truck competition show. Like what is this?
oh yeah, that one did actually provide a little history in the truck too. But like yeah, it wasn't really history.
Not history. Then you have the American Pickers thing. That's it's just fucking garbage.
It has nothing to do with history.
No.
Man.
Whereas like this try and teach you some barbecue. Some.
So,
I definitely learned more about like where the cuts of meat were, which is nice.
I think it would be cool actually to learn the history of barbecue and like the different variations, how they came about. I'm sure there's some pretty good stories there.
Yeah, we need really like a Churchill secret agent here where it's like, okay, this show is really about teaching you to barbecue, but there's also this competition going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, this is a competition and you're watching it. There's sprinkle some thought, like some nuggets in there. Really is what we need. We need more of that. More of the Churchill's style.
Could always use more Churchill. Less Nazis.
Let's see. What's our next question, Brian? Let's do drinking. Brian, do you have a good drinking rule?
every time you see a cut of meat.
Oh,
Ooh.
that is a good one, Brian. Oh, what is anytime they like give a cutaway to a judge, take a drink, I feel like there's a lot of cutaways of judges.
I'm going to do one that sounds like a cop-out, but I think it fits for the show. every time they cut to a confessional.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of
Yeah.
going with the judge. It would be, like the confessionals were like a great level for a drinking game.
Yeah.
That could just be a reality show drinking game. Is anytime you confessional drink.
Man, we should come up with like a card game that does like a reality drink game, and we just like push that out that fits with any reality show.
How is that work? How is that going to work? So everyone
yeah.
gets dealt 5 cards, and those are the drinking rules they have to abide by.
We got to figure out the details, but I feel like we know enough about reality TV and a structure where we can come up. Maybe it's Candyland, maybe it's card games. We'll figure it out. And people love that reality TV and drinking, especially that Real Housewives crowd. We can pair like Skinny Girl Margarita in this thing. We're going to be living large.
I mean, reach out to us if you want to take over our social presence because I think we'd have a good social presence if we just shared these drinking rules. If we like would actually try.
I got another one.
Okay.
Take a shot for a sob story.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a general reality show on now too.
Yep.
That could get you in real trouble, Brandon. Real trouble.
No, for sure. But it's also like one that only happens like once an episode. So it's like he's gonna get a shot.
So Brian, would it count? So this episode that was Ashley talked about his whatever his dead friend is.
Yeah,
Big
big
worm.
Big Worm, and then talked about Big Worm like in the second half of the episode.
No, you only get one. Like
Only
it's
one?
the introduction of the.
The only one sob per only one shot per sob story.
Yeah, you constantly bring it up. Like no, like I can't
I
control
think you
that.
gotta
That's
keep.
production.
You still have to drink. I think like they keep bringing up their same sob story. You just take a drink. You take a sip.
Okay, I can see that. But the first time you gotta take a shot.
Okay. Yeah,
Spare no tears, Brian. I see how you roll. I'm going to go with another easy reality rule. When they introduce a sub-challenge in an already existing challenge.
Yeah, I thought that like the last one we did a sub challenge too, but it was like the overall challenge was like 8 hours, but they were like in the next half hour make me like lunch because I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah.
That was exactly it. It was the Kingsford Charcoal Barbecue Challenge or some shit.
The Kingston. It's Kingston.
Kingston,
right?
sorry.
The Kingston.
Kingston. Another drinking rule. Whenever there's a character that comes out and is super cocky, drink up.
But that's only like the first episode of these.
Yeah. We only watch the first episode. I don't really watch reality TV, so I'm a little skewed on what's in reality TV shows.
All right. Next, our second to favorite question here is, what's the production schedule of this show?
They told us in the beginning.
What do they say?
8 weeks.
8 weeks?
8 weeks.
Yeah.
There's no way this thing was 8 weeks.
That's what they said, dude.
I guess there must be the British Bake Off thing where every weekend you come in and do a challenge.
Maybe like a lot of them were from North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean it has to be. That's the only way that works.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like 8 days, but like 8 weeks.
I mean, they said it was 8 weeks.
Yeah, they definitely said it was 8 weeks. Like, there's no questioning that.
I just don't believe that.
8 days would be so nuts. Like, can you imagine doing that like 24-hour challenges? Like, oh fuck.
Well,
it.
I mean, it depends what the challenges are, but I think each challenge will be done in a day, blah, blah, blah. And,
Yeah.
like, to have a day between each one, like, that seems like a lot. Can't be hiring those professional judges and co-hosts to be on for 2 weeks. This is ridiculous, Brian. That's so expensive.
You mean Florida's lava guy is costing them a lot?
It is
More than if
weird.
he was there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Fair.
It something doesn't add up there.
Or maybe it's just,
yeah.
like, 2, like, business weeks where it's just, like, Monday through Friday.
No.
No, it said 8 weeks.
I'm just saying, like, in the normal, how you would normally do this.
Here's what you do. You bring them to a campus and you go, day 1, Florida's lava. Day 2, American Barbecue Challenge. And you just keep rolling through. Like, that's how they run it.
They just blue screen him in.
So I think we need to get a little more creative here. My bet is the first maybe let's call it 5 or 6 episodes back to back. They're pumping them. Then maybe like the last 2 or 3 or so, it's like a 1 week, 2 week, go home, make your thing. Like
I don't think so. I think it's the Great British Bake Off is like normal people come in on the weekend. We give you a challenge to do the week, and then you come back and you do it.
so they're just flying them back and forth.
Yeah, they come into the studio every weekend.
Wild.
England's not that big, dude. Like, there's no flying in England to get to like different parts of England.
No,
No,
Get that train
are you sure?
or subway.
you just
You're
drive.
gonna hold. You're gonna hold that fact.
Yeah. The England, I mean, if you go from top to bottom of England, that's probably like a 10, 12-hour drive. Like, but like side to side England's like, or like UK is probably like 4 hours.
Says that. Well,
I'm just saying, like,
But yeah,
wherever
it
they're
is-
filming, it's just like, hey, you want to be on this reality show? Oh, it looks like you live 4 hours away. Are you sure you can make it?
yeah, British Bake Off I get, and then but for this show, yeah, I think they then are definitely screening in that radius, and it's like you got to drive here, you know.
It's
And-
definitely in whatever radius they're filming this.
interesting. So that they're probably then doing like in
If-
Charlotte.
If they're doing this 8-week bullshit, which I don't know exactly what
You think they're
doing.
lying to us?
They could be.
They always do.
There's also a really sunny day this episode.
Yeah, it was very hot.
So like, it depends on like what the weather changes are. Like,
Let me do a quick little search where they taped it. My bet, just based on where the contestants, it's in North Carolina.
yeah, there was like 4 contestants from North Carolina.
Yeah.
And the other people just didn't say they said they were from Georgia. They didn't actually say where they lived.
Fair.
So
Covington, Georgia.
there it
Wow,
is.
that came up much quicker than I thought.
Did it say 8 weeks?
I just looked for the location. I'll get back to you on that if I can find it.
So Brian, what are the shows that inspired this show? What shows are the daddies of this show?
You kidding me? Barbecue Pitmasters. Like that is the direct father of this. There's no question. No one going to Mari.
Yeah, I mean you're right. You're not wrong, but like you go back in the day, like this thing is like classic schlock reality competition format.
Yeah.
That
like,
Netflix is really making these. This is what they make. They're like, people like to knit and yarn. All right, send them out. Do another 8-person competition.
And
Send
for
it
s-
in.
and for some reason, it's kind of interesting to watch.
Sometimes. We didn't
Sometimes.
really like that glass blowing one. Was kind of boring.
Yeah.
I like that one.
That one was okay. Like it wasn't like great, but it wasn't bad. It just was.
Like this show matters way better than that glass one.
Maybe it's because they can eat the stuff on this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think this fits well for Netflix, right? Like, their whole thing is to make content that doesn't get old. Like, you can watch a show in 6 years. It's the same as watching it today.
I don't know. Post-COVID stuff's gonna be a little different.
Yeah, you can't be sharing those ribs like that.
6 years from now, we're gonna not even remember COVID. Like,
Not
we have
true.
very.
Thi-
No,
this-
I'm being hyperbolic,
Okay.
but like, we're definitely gonna be past the time where what they did in the show was fine.
All right, no, I'm not sure I agree with you.
You can put a reminder 6 years from now. Hold me to my word on this.
Listen to 40 minutes into this podcast to get context for what we're talking.
Put a reminder, like, tell Siri or Google, like, hey, 6 years from now, are we past this whole like everyone mask up, don't hang out in groups, we can share food again? I'm gonna go with yes.
I think there's going to be a lot of scars.
Definitely will be scars. Like, society will operate a little bit differently, but the like sharing barbecue, we're gonna be back at that.
All right. Let's do it. Our last question. Let's do some ratings. So we do a stack ranking system. So you go top, middle, bottom, third reality show. We're not comparing this to, The Sopranos. So like we're comparing it to like American Idol, that schlocky garbage. That's where we're at. Brian, give me your rating.
Bottom of the top. Honestly, it was just Barbecue Pitmasters, and that was an enjoyable show. And you're also kind of learning a little bit. I think they did improve upon it because that was one of our critiques about Barbecue Pitmasters. So, got rated. I think I I don't remember what I rated it as, honestly. Like, I hope I rated it a little higher or maybe about the same.
No, what do you got?
This is a solid middle show. Definitely not bad, but I also am not craving to watch more. So it was enjoyable to check it out, see what they got going on. But it is very unlikely I watch more unless I want to like really jazz myself up for some barbecue. So middle of the middle.
I'm kind of between the middle and the top. I think that like it's a good show, but it's just like a standard competition show, which is just like inherently kind of boring. But I'm gonna go middle. The barbecue really makes it middle plus, top of the middle, which I don't usually give, but that's where I'm gonna put it. That's where it's gonna be. That's it. That's our discussion of American Barbecue Cookout Challenge of the Century of the Week.
Showdown time.
Hell yeah. Show me the meat.
Show me.
Oh man,
the
we
meats.
missed that minutia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote that down too.
Oh yeah. So Chris, do you want to say where "Show Me the Meat" comes from?
So Show Me the Meat is the countdown, end of the countdown. They're like 5, 4, 2, 1. Show me the meat, and everyone had to put their hands away. Like
I like that countdown.
Yeah.
5, 4, 2, 1.
Well, I didn't. I was tired of it. I was already over it, so I
Fuck
needed to
three.
speed it up.
Fuck those three. Little known fact: Show Me the Meat. Second top rated male strip club in the outer Houston suburbs.
I think your internet corner is going a little too
yeah.
deep.
Whoa.
Little too deep on the internet corner there.
Oh, I did not need the internet corner for that.
Okay.
Is this a Noah rating based on that, or is this self-proclaimed?
It's
or
just common knowledge.
Where is this rating coming from,
No,
Noah?
it's just common knowledge about Show Me the Meat. You know, Houston suburbs male strip clubs. Like, who does not know that?
People that don't know anything about Houston.
You guys are missing out. That's all I'll say.
Okay. All right. So this week I watched Enola Holmes, and it was a fine movie. If you're looking for like kind of like a nothing, like semi-enjoyable movie, but like not really all that great, fun for the family.
What a sales pitch.
I'm just trying to get away from your crappy whatever strip club you're going to conversation.
No.
That was a gold joke, and you guys just didn't know how to value my.
Yeah, we're
joke.
moving on. We're not moving back.
Move on. There's good jokes on both sides.
You know, Noah, like, so the same night that Chris watched Enola Holmes, Noah and I were going to watch a movie, and we decided against that, and we instead watched The Wrong Missy.
Yeah.
Because we were like, fuck this family crap. We got it.
But you watch a Happy Madison movie.
It was
which
good. It was very
I just can't.
good.
I just don't believe you.
I will stand by this. Like, Adam Sandler gets a bad rep.
Because he makes bad movies.
He definitely made some. The Wrong Missy, very solid movie. It's funny. It delivers. It packs a punch. Doesn't go. Doesn't like out welcome it. Stay like in.
What was that like Groundhog Day movie that Hulu came out with?
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, yeah, like it was kind of similar style humor. Like it was actually kind of good. It was just
It's just like I can't believe them because all of the Netflix movies have been. I haven't seen any of them. So like,
but they've all been terrible.
They have like 0% Rotten Tomatoes. Like I'm not watching a 0% movie.
I
And
think they're
the last. So I have seen the Daddy's Home movies. Oh, no, he's not involved in those, right?
I don't think so.
Grown Ups. The last movie I think I saw was Grown Ups, and that was like just disastrous movie. And they made a sequel, which was like, how you make a sequel to that terrible movie?
Grown Ups too.
And so like, just Adam Sandler just isn't making anything.
He is making a lot of money. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wants Adam Sandler's life. So like, you get paid a lot of money, then you make movies you want to make where you want to make them.
With all your friends.
With all your friends, and it's something you love to do. Like everyone, like you get to go. It's just a vacation where you made a movie, which is you love making movies. Like what more would you want?
He works a lot. He definitely hustles, but he probably has like the second best job. The first one, obviously, being the host of the American Barbecue Showdown, where
I
you
mean,
just
the
eat
best.
barbecue.
I mean, if you look at like Adam Sandler's friends that are just in these movies, like they got it great, dude. They don't have to be good actors. They just be friends with Adam Sandler and be ridiculous, and they get paid. And they don't. I mean, they don't get paid as much as Adam Sandler, but like they're doing great.
He's got a loyal crew. You should watch the 60 Minutes interview with him. It was a couple months ago. He just comes off amazing. Like, he's just such a good guy. Everyone loves him because he takes care of everyone around him. Like, he's a total class act.
I just wish he'd make better movies.
I don't think he's making movies for you. Similar to Nailed It, there's a lot of people that like the content. Unfortunately,
But I liked Adam Sandler. Like, I like old Adam Sandler movies.
do you still like him?
I've watched Waterboy in the last year or two. I liked it.
It held up?
Yeah, and I like Happy Gilmore's good. Billy Madison is not good. Definitely not a Billy Madison fan. I haven't seen Big Daddy in a while, but I really liked Big Daddy back in the day. Then like after that, I wasn't really a fan even back in the day. Really,
Little Nicky?
I liked way more than other people. I didn't know people didn't like that movie
Yeah,
until
Little Nicky
recently
got panned real hard.
because I was a kid and I don't know.
The devil with the tits on his head.
Yeah, I thought it was fun back in the day. I haven't seen it, and I want to leave my memories of Little Nicky where they are in a positive space.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't watch it.
But then
again.
there's just like a 2.5 decades of like crap. Like the last movie I think I saw was like Zohan. That was fucking garbage.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Was that like the sequel to Zohan?
This going no. Zohan? What? I'm lost.
You don't? No, nothing.
We'll see if Adam Sandler does more uncut gems because he clearly kills.
I
it
mean,
in that
sometimes
performance.
he does. Like, I really like Funny People. He's in Funny People.
amazing. Yeah,
But like, that's not an Adam Sandler movie. Like, he's just
right.
like,
That's a Judd Apatow movie.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He's also this. To be honest, the Halloween Netflix movie that he's in that's coming out doesn't look like garbage. It looks meh.
is it like a real Happy Madison production or
Yeah.
is it someone? Okay, all right.
But like, it kind of looks more old school Adam Sandler than like Jack and Jill.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Jack and Jill is one of those like peak like cringe CGI Adam Sandler everywhere, and just like,
It's
all
just
right,
terrible.
all right.
Just terrible. How could you forgive the guy that made that movie? Like, how could you give him any benefit of the doubt to watch any of his movies?
I would love to learn because like he's very like clearly he knows what he's doing, right? I don't think Adam Sandler is just pumping shit out to pump shit out because as you said, like he gets to do what he wants. What he wants because like he's really good at whatever he puts his hands on. So I just want to know like who is he trying to appeal to at Jack and Jill?
They didn't ask that in the 60 Minutes interview.
Shockingly, it wasn't the main focus.
It seems like, I mean, I'll tell you what he's doing. He's making movies for 14-year-old boys. And that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're like teenage tween boys that still think like a lot of toilet humor is really funny.
I think that's very appropriate.
Like, but like, you don't have to go as like low as you've never ever seen a movie before, and that's why it's still funny. Like, you could still make a funny movie in using tropes that I don't mind. That's great, but like, you can't make not funny movies using the tropes and then just like, I don't know, just.
I wonder if it stretches his like creative range because I'd imagine it's easier to write like a 14-year-old comedy movie when you're 20 to 30 than writing when you're 50 to 60.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't understand why he's even writing any of his movies. Just like,
Yeah.
somebody else is probably writing them. I can't imagine.
I wonder if he does. I wonder if it's more like a master painter where then you get like a whole like army of painters and you're just going around and like giving direction.
I don't know. I have no idea.
And a lot to learn about Adam Sandler. I will try to slide in his DMs.
Okay. All right. I think that's it for this week. You can find us on Twitter at @WhoBeTheSon. You can find us on Facebook.com/WhoBeTheSon. You can email us questions, suggestions at whobetheson@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time. Rochelle the musical.
A girl's journey from Milan to Minsk.